Ah, hell. I've stood this post so many times I could do it in my sleep.
Mind you don't let the bosses upstairs hear you say that. I start getting ideas in my head.
You ever find yourself with too much disposable income? I got plenty of ideas on how to dispose of it.
Take the pressure off with anti-fizzles, bottled under more than 3 atmospheres of pressure.
It was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Spare me such timid drivel. We needn't waste time back. Of course, I know why you're really here. You have come to the greenhouse's stolen bounty, offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Starving? Hardly. We have great... If you are conniving for some concession of... Enough! We know what is expected of us, and we have readied ourselves to...
Heading to the fore!
You did me a big favor here. I knew someone, or something, had been absconding with food from the greenhouse, but never in a million skips would I have guessed it were stowaways. Huh. Guess I had this mystery all wrong. I lost a friend. She was. Romantic entanglements, but I digress.
Went where? 6 feet. Schultz!
On the ground. Adrenalin got you down. Well, trust gets chemical purge. If for better than natural cure. Oh, live on.
My contract's got plenty of stipulations, but tour guiding out of towners ain't one of them.
No, he went off to relieve himself.
Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Did I not make clear?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles, sir.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity... You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse. Whatever your purpose, no Anti's forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and foremost, our initial schematics we managed to acquire. Also, it's by steadfastly holding the line, Calamity digs its claws in deeper. Thank you for notifying me of their demise. But I would prefer to avoid staining my reputation by far be it still. However brightly my star burns, I remain in her orbit. I'd thank you to scrap. Schultz obviously knew the risk. I'll pardon your skepticism given your lack of acquaintance. Before you depart, a final word.
You there. Keep your hands where I can see them. Stranger, consider yourself lucky that I've been ordered to not open fire unless fired upon. I will not suffer an outsider to trespass and trample further through our lands. Turn back if you are not a loyal Protectorate subject, you will not cross this bridge. Be grateful I do not He's been fervent. Any associations with wrongdoers and you also have no business at the relay. So you are sympathetic to the Protectorate cause, and I may have need of your help, stranger. I know of 2 traitors who yet remain on this island. Bring them to me. In return, I shall grant you clearance to cross the bridge. Fair exchange, wouldn't you say? Trial. And their crimes are as clear as the Sovereign's blue sky. There's a wide gulf between justice and madness, and many interpretations of the law land on the right side. I commend you for your eager interest. I think 2 traitors in particular. First is Ida Rutledge. I once had utmost, but reportedly she's not only failed to die. The second traitor he too, but Charlton, well, I must deal with. Your humor leaves much to be desired. Now go, but beware if you step out.
Don't get any closer to it. Void-brained idiot. Put down the bottle and stop doing stupid shit. Get away from there.
You there. Keep your hands. I will not suffer an outside. He's been. Any associations with wrong. And you also have no business at. I know. In return, I shall grant you. There's a wide gulf between just. But reportedly, she's not only failed. But Charlton, well, I must deal with. I am not. And with luck, Now go, but beware.
Eyes up. Outsiders approaching the south gate.
Gary? For the love of bits, don't get any closer to it. You void-brained idiot. Put down the bottle and stop doing stupid shit. Get away from there.
Quit your worrying. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Gary! No!
I must say, I have many reservations about this. The Protectorate has always provided for us. For what reason would we forsake such a stable and safe way of life?
Because, friend, with the Protectorate, you're only surviving. With Antes, you'll be thriving.
So your superiors order you to thrive?
No. It's just something you can do on your own. You'll have bosses and employers, but it's up to you to get yourself to the top and make yourself the employer.
I see. And why would I want to do such a thing? Surely my assigned place
When you sign someone else up, you get a big bonus. Careful, friend. Reckon there might be a few loose Raptidons wandering around. Note that Auntie's Choice ain't liable for Raptidon-based injuries when there's a war on.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire.
Word is, Milver Street is ordering a walk home with Predator survivors in Westfield. Anything that kind of work.
It always sounds like so much effort. The kind of thing ain't even on my contract.
Milver Street is offering bits rewards for anything of import we can tell him.
But I do love bids. Come on, friend. Let's go set our lamps on something juicy for Milver Street.
Scout, report. Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it.
Would following the rules ever get anybody? It's like the rules are just a guide for what not to get caught doing. And all this is just... Now what? Come on.
or sprint. Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, clean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they started the war to grab any part of the paradigm that they can.
Meds don't arrive soon. Well, you walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? A number of... Took a while for our water pure. All right.
My body is covered in burns, acquired in battle during the attack. The only relief I have is when I can jump in the water and float over my former house.
Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye.
Greeting.
We must all fulfill our duty to the
It is my esteemed but where am I? Serving you.
Confirm.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd opened my belief. What?
Comestibles.
We are not. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs. We are unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said. Why which now? Either the Myling response. What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine enough to lead and inspire those who in exchange, never dream of such a proposal in days. Wonder the parts to get inside. You will need an access pack. Farewell.
Marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful.
How empty are the lives of anti-subjects that they need to rely on consumerism to find meaning.
To rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora, fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex unbalance even the most robust.
Did you hear? They're letting anyone who wants to monitor's facility.
Paradigm says we're to spend our lives in our predetermined professions.
That's why it's so generous of the Sovereign to let us become tiny cogs in the Great War Machine.
But maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now.
The wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
The Sovereign really does think of everything.
Appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
You are the raw
Huh.
material for
Well,
perfection.
at least it's not shooting the water anymore.
Vigilant. We must all
Visitors, huh? If you need someone to talk to here. Oh, I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd all the subjects are expected to Hogarth, not to indulge in idle much. We lose power to charge our cure. Talk your ear off if you and the right part.
The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through devised the paradigm.
Simply saying I'd rest easier if he'd been assigned to it. Originally. That generator goes?
To inform on a neighbor is a blessing, Prudence says. I'm still waiting for a few thank yous.
We all know how invasive species can unbalanced.
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect
like those
ecotope as our home, and devised the paradigm as
individualists within
a great way to maintain it.
Don't fret. The system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever,
Stranger?
but prudence dictates we give it a little extra.
Everything, literally everything I own.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
What was that? One workplace injury! Moving in!